Hello beautiful people, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if this is the very first time that you are joining me. Today I am going to do a walkthrough of the Storyboard Tarot. This is a really unusual video for me to make. It's not unusual in terms of tarot content. Lots of tarot channels do walkthroughs all of the time, and that's often what people are looking for. I haven't made a walkthrough since I did the Tarot Renard that was back in May 2021. And I mean, I haven't made a lot of videos in the last couple of years, but if you look back historically over my channel, it's not something I do very often, and it's because I suck at it. I never know what I'm supposed to do, or whether I'm supposed to say something or not say something, or whether I should just put music over the top, or whether I should talk about first impressions, or like I find these videos really stressful for stupid reasons that are my own issues. But I have discovered that what I really like watching, I like watching two different types of walkthroughs of my own. Either I like to watch walkthroughs that are really fast, have music played over the top of them, and is literally just a here's the deck, thank you very much, move on with your life. And those are from like bigger channels where I don't really know the creators. And then smaller channels of people that I really love and want to spend time with, I really enjoy those ones that do like chatty videos where they just talk about shit and they just talk about their day or whatever, but they happen to show the deck at the same time. And that's the kind of video I want to try making today. So if you're not here for that, that's absolutely fine. Mute me and just look at the deck. I won't know, so I won't be offended. But if you are interested, then I'm going to talk for a bit. I might talk a lot. I might not talk very much. We'll just see how it goes. So I first saw this deck when Julie from Peekaboo Rose shared it on a 3 Girls 1 deck live, where we did someone's tag. I think, was it Dragonfly's tag? I can't remember which tag it was. But I was really surprised that I'd never seen this deck before. I've never seen videos of it on YouTube. I've never really seen anybody talking about it. It's exactly the kind of deck I would want to own. And so I had to go ahead and buy it. And I will put a link for where I got it from in the description box if anybody else is interested. It comes from China. It wasn't very expensive. The shipping was free. It was here really quickly. At least it got to the UK really quickly, and is good quality. I'm very, very, very happy with this deck. So the box is one of these like 2-part boxes. These are my favorite kind of boxes. And if every single deck I owned came in a box like this, I would probably die a very happy person. I mean, it would probably take a bit more than that for me to die a happy person. But just in terms of tarot, that would make me very happy, because I love them. It also has this cute panda and the top, and I'm a little bit obsessed with pandas at the moment. I'm really tempted actually to get a panda tattoo, because my best friend who passed away in 2023, Stuart, he was a panda fanatic. And he also used to make this joke. So I met him through pagan circles, and he was a pandeist, which is an actual thing. That wasn't a joke. But he used to tell everybody he was a pandeist, and people, it's not a word that a lot of people are familiar with. So when they would say, oh, what does that mean? He would say, oh, it means I worship pandas, and everybody would laugh. And I heard it. I mean, we were together. We were, best friends for 13 years and spent all our time together and hung around in the same circles and things. So I heard that joke a lot. A lot. And now I don't get to hear it anymore, and I really miss it. So now I'm a little bit obsessed with pandas for that reason. The bottom of the box also has this cute, adorable waving kitten, which I also love. And the box is pink. There is so much about this, just the box, that makes me happy. 5 minutes in, and so far all I've talked about is the box. The guidebook is half in Chinese and half in English, and then it has like one very simple spread, and then each card has a little write-up and then some information about the symbols, which is important when you see the deck. And then this enlightenment, which is basically some kind of question, like the magician is, what are you hesitating for? And then a statement, like you haven't realized your full potential yet, actions speak for themselves. I am obsessed right now with guidebooks that have questions in them. Again, that's something I would like from all of my guidebooks, just because I have discovered that journaling is probably the most important part of a tarot reading for me right now, and the thing that I get the most value out of. And having those questions to look at and kind of fall back on is a really good prompt when I'm looking at a card going, yeah, I have nothing, I don't know what to write. And with decks that don't come with questions and stuff, quite often I'll just write, I don't know what to write about this card, or I don't know how this card works in this particular position. And normally the act of writing something gets me going. But anyway, I'm waffling without showing you the cards. It comes with this extra card, this Wonderful Encounters card, which again, giant panda, little bit obsessed. And then the backs are these beautiful, again, pink cards with roses and lilies. Am I going to assume they're lilies? My plant knowledge is a bit shit. So then when you look at the cards, they have this really lovely, like, manga storybook vibe about them, where they're in panels, and hence the storyboard tarot. They look like storyboards. And as a big fan of graphic novels and manga, and somebody who's reading a lot more graphic novels and manga over the last few years, and somebody who really appreciates tarot as a way of helping me tell myself a story, I really love this. I think it's a really smart idea and something I've not really seen before on any other deck. The only thing that I, when I look at this deck, the only thoughts that I have that could be a negative, depending on the kind of person that you are, and whether this works for you or not, I love this Hermit card, is I know for me sometimes I can use the same deck over and over and over again, and each time I use it in a different reading, different things will stand out to me, like different parts of the deck or different symbols within the deck or different like colors or whatever. I love this death card too. Will just stand out to me, and those are the things that draw my attention, and those are the things that kind of encourage me to read the card in a certain way. And this deck kind of takes that away, in that it very specifically picks the symbols for you to focus on and puts them in their own separate panels, and so you can't help but draw your attention to those things. But I don't know how much that would matter. And I think that in that respect, probably just how I read with this deck would be different than how I read with another deck, which how I read with all my decks and how I use them and what I get out of them and how they work for me is different a lot of the time anyway. And I'm sure that's true for a lot of us. So this Moon card is the first card where I'm like, I personally love more traditional wolf cards. Yeah, can you see where I'm going with this? Moon cards, where you have the wolf and the dog. And I am disappointed when a moon card doesn't include the wolf and the dog, because I think that that's something, that symbology in the moon card that really speaks to me. And so I love a black cat. I love cats. I have my own. She's beautiful. I adore her. But I miss my dog and my wolf in that card. Let me go into the aces. I used to have a record player when I was young, and then I had an iPod for absolutely ages. Very 90s, early 2000s vibe going on there. Love it. This deck is very modern, as my mother would say, which I like. I am somebody who's drawn to more modern depictions of the world that we live in my tarot than more classical or whatever other artistic terms that I don't know, styles of art. This one I had to look this up, because I was like, I don't understand the birds in the Five of Wands. I don't understand what's happening here. And so I did have to look this one up, and the birds are actually pecking each other, which I did not get. You might have got, and are just smarter than me, but they are actually pecking birds, if you can see here. So we've got indoors is this panel here, obviously. Then we have pecking birds, and then we have flourishing branches. And the pecking birds particularly, yeah, I can see how they would relate to competition or whatever. But I was a bit thrown by that card when I first saw it. The Seven of Wands is another one where I'm like, I don't know if I really get it. And then when you look at the symbols, this one, the symbol, the woman, the confident woman is a symbol. And then the whiteboard is all about competitive relationships, I guess. Well, I don't guess, I'm reading it off a piece of paper. And then the photo frame and the pink water cup are all different things. And then the question is, what have you done to prepare for the challenges ahead? I don't know if I would read the Seven of Wands exactly in the way that it's being depicted here, but I'm always open to different interpretations of cards. I really like this one. I really like that the you have all of these awards and stuff, but then you have these dying flowers, and it's like she's worked so hard at this skill that she's won all these awards and stuff, but the side effect of that is like the day-to-day stuff, like looking after her plants and clearing up away her flowers and stuff, have had to be neglected. So I was going to talk about live stuff, but actually I've just ended up talking about the cards. I don't really know what to tell you live stuff wise. Life is stressful. When is it not? It's stressful for everybody. That's the world we live in now. I left my job. Well, I haven't left my job. I have resigned from my job and am in the process of trying to find another one because my job is shit and was not doing very good things to my mental health. And so I reached a point where luckily I am in a position where I do have some financial support that will keep me going for a couple of months. And so I decided that the healthiest thing to do is to leave and put all of my focus and energy and time into finding something else. So there's that. So I finished my job in September. And I am really looking forward to it being over and done with, to be honest. But it's, yeah, it's been a lot. This last year, actually, it's been quite a lot. I love this card. I really love this depiction of the Five of Cups. There's something really cathartic about crying in the rain. There's just something really powerful about it. I also love this Seven of Cups. I like the Cups cards quite a lot. I'm about to start my very last module on my degree. So if you know, you know. If you don't know, I have been doing a part-time degree over 6 years through the Open University in psychology with counselling. And I have done completed 5 of those 6 years. My last year starts at the beginning of October, and I will be finished as of July 2026. And then that is all done, and I have no idea what I'm going to do with it, or if anything, or what I'm going to do next, if anything. So I really need to knuckle down with that when that comes in, because I've got to do some kind of psychology research type project, and I'm not sure yet what that's going to be on. I want to do something around horror and well-being and horror fans, because that is who I am as a person, but I don't know if that will work. So I need to wait until I get assigned my tutor, and then I can start thinking about that kind of stuff. Other than that, life is lifing. Life is lifing. I'm in the process of, as I say, looking for another job. I started a gym. I still have the dog and the cat, and I read all of the time, and yeah, life is just lifing. There is nothing exciting happening in my life at all. It just very much is, which is good. Tell me something about your life right now that you want me to know about, because I am really interested in catching up. I feel like I've been really out of it for so long that I have probably missed so much. And so I really want to hear how people are doing, what they're up to, how's life going? Have you got any big news? Anything you want to celebrate? Anything you want me to celebrate for you because you feel like it's so big and important that I should know? Because I want to know. I was watching Meg's video where she was talking about the tarot community that she posted the other day, and about how amazing it has been for her personally to be involved in the community. And I do think that it's one of the things that always keeps me coming back, and why I don't think I've ever like totally walked away, is that this community is so full of goodness and kindness and people who just really genuinely care about each other in ways that I find really amazing. Like people that I've never spoken to even one-on-one, or people I've like, you know, some of my closest friends now I've met online that I've never been in the same room as, I've never been in the same country as. It's just a really wonderful community. And that's not to say it doesn't have its bad sides. I mean, all communities have their bad sides. And being online is a challenge all by itself, but I do really, really miss just being in community with people and having relationships with people in this community. And so I really, really want to bring that back into my life by, in some way, contributing again, and not just hiding out and pretending that I've died or something. I don't know. That was a bit extreme. But anyway, that got a bit weird towards the end. But that is the whole deck. It is really beautiful. It is, the cardstock is nice. I would be lying if I told you that I had any comprehension of cardstock at all. But it's just, it's decent enough cardstock. It's sturdy. It doesn't feel like it's going to get damaged very easily. I don't know how well it shuffles. I've not really tried. We can do this on camera and it might be a shit show and I might cut it out, but we'll see. Huh, well, it shuffles quite well, so that's good to know. Now again, if anybody's watching this and going, what the fuck is this girl doing? I did tell you I sucked at these, so please do not hold me responsible for that. I was honest. So just for... Oh, it's a little bit of an insight into how difficult my life is. I can't even shuffle properly. So here is a message for us all, the star, which is definitely something I need to be reminded of every now and again, that yes, okay, life is a bit stressful. Yes, I am in the process of walking away from the security of a full-time paid job, but I'm employable. I have lots of skills. I will find something else. I am doing what I need to do in order to protect my mental health, and that is really important. And there's always hope. There's always hope of something more and something better. And that's for me on a personal level. And then on a world level, the world is a fucking shit show right now, and it makes it very difficult to want to carry on and to get out of bed and to just function as a normal human being. And, you know, I'm sure that we're all feeling that to some degree or another. But this is not the end. It's, you know, there is always hope. There only stops being hope when we stop looking for it and we stop striving for more and better. And so we just have to keep on keeping on, doing what we can with what we have. Yeah, so thank you very much, everybody, for joining me. This was not great, but I enjoyed it. And I will hopefully see you all again very soon for another one. Take care, everyone, and lots of love. Bye-bye.